And a very good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Issues and Attitudes. My name is Jeff Owens, General Manager at WEIU. Today we're going to be talking all things Mattoon School District. Our guest today, Assistant Superintendent Christy Hild.
Hi.
And Superintendent Tim Condron.
Hi, Jeff.
So, Christy, I'm still going to have you pull that mic a little close to you. Appreciate you coming in. I know it's a busy week. It's a fun week, though, like you were saying off mic. It's back to school week. So, talk a little bit about that, and then we'll get into some details of all the stuff you have going on there.
Yeah, it's an exciting week. We're excited to welcome our students back on Wednesday, and our staff. We met with them this morning for breakfast. Had a nice speaker, and they're excited to be back in order to do what they love, and that's teach kids.
Hey, you, Christy, what do you think about back to school week?
Oh my goodness, it's the best energy. You know, you get people together who haven't seen each other for a few months, and everyone's looking forward to the opportunities a new year can provide. And so coming together, connecting, and then having them prepare their classrooms and get ready for the kids it's always a good time.
So you have the school, you have all the stuff with the sports facilities going on, but there's something else that's happened too. So, Lift will kick off. I don't know the exact dates and stuff, but talk about when Lift is going to happen and what we can expect.
Yeah, Lift has liftoff coming right up.
It is.
So we're super excited to welcome students from about 17 communities across those 7 pathways. They will start on Wednesday as well. We have 8 days of orientation, leadership content. They're going to be certified in Stephen Covey's 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. So they'll spend some time doing that, along with getting their technology all set up, goal setting, and preparing for the content, which will launch then on Friday the 26th.
When you say 17 communities, how many students does that reflect?
We have a little over 100 students starting the year with us, and we're thrilled with that number. We're really excited. We've got a nice mix of kids from a lot of different communities, which will give them a great experience to build some new relationships, make some friends, and learn together.
Yeah, we've gone on some tours to see how these vocational programs and innovation centers have worked, and everything we've heard, Jeff, from them was that first year is just that excitement builds around that second year. We'll see some additional students, and hopefully we'll be at full capacity by the end of the second year or start of the third year.
I know we have new people moving into the community, so maybe if somebody doesn't know what Lift is, give them a brief overview if you would, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So Lift stands for Leaders Innovating for Tomorrow, and it's a regional innovation technical school. So junior and senior level students from communities all around East Central Illinois are invited to attend 2-hour sessions at the downtown former Consolidated Communications Corporate Headquarters building. And they will pursue certifications, dual credit, work-based learning, and some authentic problem solving in an area of interest. So they can go on to college to specialize, they can go into the workforce, or they can start their own business upon graduation.
And all but one start, right? All but one pathway starts this fall?
Yes,
and the other one will start in the spring?
Actually, all of them start this fall. Culinary Arts, you're probably referring to, will be a full-service restaurant on the 6th floor. The restaurant portion where students are preparing and serving food will be in January.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yep.
I know, actually, it's funny, coming to work this morning, I saw they were still bringing equipment in.
Yeah.
Because I had actually stopped to let the guy go by. So it starts Monday, or it starts Wednesday. Is everything will be ready? Knock on wood. I mean,
a lot of that specialized training equipment is large and complex. So we have robotics from FANUC. We had an amazing donation from Jamie Pilson just last week of an electric vehicle. We have the state-of-the-art computer programming, and so a lot of that stuff is being built on site. It's large equipment.
Yeah.
So luckily the curriculum is designed so many of the safety trainings and other certifications that are precursors to that content happens first. So when the students need it, it'll be ready.
When you started a couple years ago, started the idea about Lift, how excited? I know this is being. I know, Tim, you're involved, but it seemed to be Christy. It's just kind of like your baby, your other child. So how excited are you to get to
I was
open?
just saying, we were driving, and I said it's so amazing to see on the outside of the building something that was just an idea, like you said, Jeff, not that long ago. Now it's concrete, and so many people came together to formulate that final product. But when you walk through and you see something that was just a drawing or a rendering, it is so inspiring and just makes us so excited for our kids and what they're going to experience in just a short time.
I know when I drove by the first day when the sign came up, it was like, it just pops, you know. And you don't always notice that kind of stuff, but that one really pops as you're coming, east. So
yeah, and to think back too, Jeff, this predates Christy and I in our roles. We've had these conversations, or they've been shared with us in our community for 20, 30 years about this idea of a regional school that will allow students to come from all of those different school districts. And I think what we're fortunate and blessed to be able to do is to bring people together that understand that. And as you know, Jeff, I mean, being a part of some of those early on advisory committees to determine what courses and programs would need to be offered for our students based upon what we saw from industry across the region. So we feel very fortunate, and our school board has done an exceptional job of allowing us to continue that path and that vision, and we couldn't do that without their support.
17 schools and over 100 kids. I think that's a pretty good start. Do you set goals on, like, next year? You're already thinking, I want 20 students or 20 students?
We absolutely do. Yeah, we have something called Wildly Important Goals, and we have a scoreboard, and every facilitator has a goal for recruitment. And we like to say that if each of those 100 students has a compelling story to tell, that helps family members, community members, and other students see potential in what they're able to do. So yeah, we absolutely have some targets we're hoping to hit.
Are all the positions filled in at Lyft? Everything you got full staff ready to go?
Full staff's ready to go, and my goodness, they have worked so hard. So, back to the idea of what was thought, like, this would be really cool if. These facilitators have taken those ifs and they've built curriculum to make them possible for kids.
That's awesome. Let's go back to Mattoon, or the Mattoon schools is all. What other things this summer did the schools work on? I mean, I know the sports facilities we'll get to, but I know there's other things happening, and
Sure.
I don't want sports to get all the highlighted lift, but what else went on this summer for Mattoon?
Well, parents that drop their kids off at Mattoon Middle School will be happy to know there's a smoother entrance and egress in and out. So we're fortunate the city of Mattoon partnered with us to help take care of kind of that rocky bump coming in and out. So we've had some things like that across the district. We've also had some updates to some HVAC equipment over at Riddle Elementary School. So, a little bit of everything, I think, happening across the district. And obviously, one of the most visual, other than Lyft, would be the enhancements that we're seeing at the high school.
And let's switch to the high school. But I was out there again on Saturday, and it's just amazed how it just looks so much different, and it's growing every day. And Mr. Duckett was talking about how, hey, Gator game, we won't have restrooms. By the first game, we're going to have restrooms. So it's going right up to the end. But how excited are you when you walk out there and you look at what you're going to be able to offer, not just the Mattoon athletes, the community?
Yeah, and it's been a team effort. Just like it is in sports, Jeff. It's taken everybody and their contributions to be flexible throughout this whole thing, and our staff have worked through that this past year, trying to be flexible, allow construction crews to come in and out. But it really is starting to become something that I think our community and our students will really embrace and enjoy in the future.
Even just moving the greenhouse, which is another huge development for our district. We moved the greenhouse inside a courtyard with access to some classrooms. We also added a greenhouse at the middle school, which expanded our ag programming, almost doubled it. So we'll have students involved in ag classes, ag business classes as early as 6th grade now. Those are additional enhancements along with youth sports. So it's not all about sports, but we did expand sports starting down into the 4th grade level, where kids will be able to do school-sponsored sports that get them ready for those great facilities when they get to the high school.
And I heard even the middle school can use the baseball field now. So if on rain days and stuff, they're going to go out there. So it gives them options if there's a little mud over there at the middle school. The other thing is, I think I know people probably don't know this yet because all this hasn't been lit. For me coming from the football more side of it, we almost have 90 kids out for the program.
Yeah,
which is a good
Thrilled.
bad thing.
Sure.
I know Coach Kimbrough and the gang are trying to get enough equipment in, and but 90 is unbelievable. In the past few years, we've had 50 to 70 maybe, and now we almost have a time to we can have 3 teams. So and I'm sure the field has something to do with that. The kids want to play on that brand new field.
Well, hopefully that's a piece of it. But as we believe, in most school districts in the communities that are listening know this, that it's about the people. It's about the people in those positions. It's about the coaches. It's about the teachers. It's about the staff that come around to support kids and encourage them to see that they may have some potential to be able to come out and play in a sport and contribute and be a part of a team. And as we all know, you learn a lot of life skills in those activities. So, we're blessed to be able to have the opportunity to enhance those facilities. But I think the bigger picture in all of that is we have the right people that see that and see that in kids.
It's a good answer there. What about enrollment? Do you guys do you know enrollment yet for the Riddle and Williams, then junior high and middle high?
Yeah, we're seeing the numbers come in about similar to where they were last year. So we're looking at around 3,100 students for the district total. We hope to see some additional, maybe late registrations happening here this week. But we're excited to welcome them all back, and hopefully they're as excited to come back. I've got a couple in elementary school that are super excited. I know that's not always the case when you get into middle school and high school, but they're excited to be back.
I know we have a foreign exchange student so I have that coming in. So it's always neat when that happens. Let's talk about parents right now. What would you tell parents right now who are going into any of the schools for the first time in terms of just to be prepared?
Yeah, I think, first and foremost, we're about keeping kids safe. And so this week is going to start to change those routines for families, but it also changes routines around town. We've got those big yellow buses that cruise up and down town, and sometimes we're distracted and we don't always see them. So we'll just encourage people to be mindful of that and take it slow. These first couple of days, we're working out some kinks with some new bus routes. We're working out, some start times and getting parents through. We often have quite a few elementary parents that wish to drop their kids off, and that takes a little bit longer to get them in and out. But I think just being safe and going slow and just being understanding as we get things going here.
Yeah, we'd also really like to just welcome them back. All of our schools are working on family academies, so intentionally bringing families into the school to learn about, what our curriculum looks like, how they can help their students at home, and for us to learn about them as well. So we really believe that we are better when we're in partnership, and so finding ways to intentionally connect. If they're new to the district, every school has an orientation process so they can get connected to family groups, parent groups, and kind of get the scoop of what's happening, so that we're all in this together. And so the stronger our relationships are with families, the better off the kids are ultimately going to be.
They're having a breakfast or something, because I was early on Wednesday.
There's a senior breakfast coming up Wednesday, I hear. So on the new sports parking lot. So it sounds like they're pretty excited to start the school year off with breakfast.
I don't know if they're that excited as you think they are.
Well, maybe not.
The moms and dads are excited.
That's right.
The school district moms and dads.
That's
my
right.
wife's all excited about it.
That's right.
TJ, that might be a different story. But, it's funny though. That's a neat idea, because I think back. I was an '84 grad at Mattoon, and we didn't have anything. Like, you just kind of went to school, got your books, and went.
Yeah.
It's so much different now in terms of welcoming and all the things that are happening. Is there any changes at Mattoon High School, like in terms of, like you said, times and curriculums and things? Can you talk about some of those other changes that are going to be happening that people?
Well, we've as you know, Jeff, we've with some of those sports enhancements, we've moved some programming. So what used to be the old wood shop area where building and trade students and wood shop students would go, CAD students, they're now going to move into the 400 wing. So there's been a lot of work around that, and we're excited to kind of see that start to come together. They're actually moving in some machinery this morning to the wood shop. So like you said, down to the wire. But we're seeing some of those things. We're adapting to the needs of what our future students and future community leaders will need to hopefully continue those passions and those careers.
We also have some additional internship opportunities with Sarah Bush Lincoln. They've been great about finding ways that our high school students can intern in addition to Health Oc. So all of the jobs it takes to run a huge medical facility like that, they've been very welcoming. So our upper level students can actually intern out there. We also supplemented some of our math resources over the summer. So the high school students will have some additional resources and opportunities to, strengthen those math skills as well.
You talked about buses earlier. You still needing bus drivers?
Any chance we
Always.
get, yes. And that's not just a Mattoon school district shortage. It's a regional, it's a state, it's a national shortage. So if anyone's out there interested in I think probably one of the best jobs in the world, you pick kids up and see them when they're smiling and you drop them off. It's a key part of what we do. So if you're interested, reach out and look on our website, and we'd be happy to connect.
And how many, like for a bus driver, is it an hourly wage? And so how many hours do they need to put in a week?
It is. It's an hourly wage, and it runs anywhere from about 4 to 6 hours a day, depending upon those routes. So, it's great for someone that may be looking for kind of a part-time job to kind of fill in. We've got a lot of community members that work in the ag community that come in and help out with bus driving. So we're happy to entertain anyone that might be interested and work with them flexible with their schedule.
Any other job openings or teacher positions?
Substitutes are always
Substitute
great.
teachers,
We
yeah.
also partnered with Illinois State University and Eastern Illinois University in terms of some tutoring initiatives. So people can apply to be tutors and work with kids on reading and math skills as well. So subs always.
I tell you, when I retire from here, that's what I want. I want to be a sub teacher. I don't want to be like 5 days a week. I'm just going to put it out there right now.
You better just
All right.
apply just today, just to be safe, right?
You heard that here first.
No, I've told people. I said I don't want to. I want to keep doing something, but I think it'd be fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
super fun.
Yep. It'd be a neat thing. One of the things that I just found out Saturday when listening to Mr. Duckett and Coach Kimbrough talk is I think it's a neat thing. Higher requirements than the IHSA requires for athletes. So athletes have new rules at MHS this year. Can you talk about that?
They do. I think the expectation there is just trying to elevate, that experience of our student athletes. Our student athletes, just like all of our students, are leaders in different ways. And I think IHSA is following suit in that and trying to encourage that good sportsmanship even more than they have previously. But as we talked too, Jeff, it's sport is an opportunity to learn. It's an opportunity to grow, and it's an opportunity to give back to your community. And I think in that light, we take that seriously, and it looks like IHSA is kind of following suit.
Neat. I want to go back to Liv for a minute, Christy, because again, talking about some of the people who may not know, can you talk about what the different, like I look at it as the different floors.
Yep.
I don't know if that's what you think
Yep.
about, but what is on each floor? You don't just give a nutshell of that.
It's because, remember, Jeff, we had that visual, and
Is
it
that
was
what-
like,
yeah.
okay, we have
Yeah.
every floor. So
it's
yes.
still in my mind that way.
Oh,
so.
good. So basement is communications. So students will do either broadcasting communications or creative communications. Then we move up to the first floor, and that's daycare licensing, childcare, birth through age 3. Your wife's helped us out a lot with that. And then as we get to second floor, that's technology. So cybersecurity, programming, networking. Students will graduate with some pretty hefty certifications there, and that is a highly needed area. Third and fourth floor kind of go together. So third floor is that HVAC, green energy, which we just announced a huge solar project and electric vehicle project there, along with HVAC, commercial HVAC systems. Fourth floor is that construction trades floor, and it complements our building trades program at the high school. Architecture will also be a part of that floor. And then as we get to fifth floor, that's our Leadership Institute, where it teaches those kind of inside-out leadership skills, regardless of what job you're going to go into, so you can work with other people, be creative problem solvers and critical thinkers. And then, of course, the sixth floor is that Culinary Arts Institute for hospitality and culinary jobs.
And that'll be open in January?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
I don't mean any negativity on this one, but as time flows, would there ever be like, maybe we should switch the fourth floor to something new that emerging technology or something?
Yeah.
Is it, or are we rigid on that, or how does that work?
I think what we're going to see is just that evolution, right?
Yeah.
I think it's important for us in education to consider how do we adapt and make those changes that are necessary for society, for our future students. And, Christy has done an exceptional job of working with these advisory groups in order to determine what's necessary now. But that's going to continue. That process will continue, and with facilitators meeting with advisory groups to continue to stay out in front of what those changes might look like in the future.
So
Okay.
each quarter they'll have a kind of a team meeting, and I'm sure they'll be reaching out to you to be on that, where we just say, this is what we're doing. Is it still relevant? Is this still the technology you
Yeah.
use? What recommendations would you have so that we can maintain our status as an innovation school, right? You got to
Yeah,
continue innovating.
exactly.
So, yeah.
And the other part of that, or the question about Lyft is, 17 schools have signed up for it, and obviously including Mattoon. Now, I know I don't want you to name names, and I know you wouldn't, but the schools that said, not right now, but they going to kind of maybe wait back and see what happens the first year or 2 years?
Yeah, I think so. I think that we have great relationships with all of those schools. But this is an extension of trust, right? Like
Yeah.
we're building a building, we're building curriculum. And I also think there's an element of scheduling. So, some students already had their classes picked out. And so I feel like it's a little bit of all of those things, and each situation's a little bit different. All of those schools have been extremely supportive, and we've gotten great feedback. I think it's just a matter of finding the right fit, and also as we start to share what those outcomes for kids are, then it'll be a little bit more like, okay, now I can kind of see what you're talking about.
And I mean, 100 students is probably a good working number to start with. If you had 300 or 400, you might be pulling your hair out.
Yep, I think our facilitators are really happy with that number.
They are.
With so much going on, how did you spend the last few weeks as we get ready to start school here in Mattoon on Wednesday? I mean, how did you plan and prepare? Was it tough to keep everything together? Or?
It just goes back to people, Jeff. We've got people that are in the roles that they're in for a reason, and we're grateful that they're able to kind of see these projects through. We've got a new district facilities director in Dustin Stolfus, and Dustin has been a great addition to
He's
to
a
the
Patriot
team.
fan. He's going to go.
Well, yeah, we don't hold that against it. Well, he's also a Michigan Wolverines fan, so maybe we do. But, I think it's just the idea of when you have great people that see the purpose of trying to serve our community and serve our students, they make those good decisions and work together collectively to see things through, because they see the bigger victory in that is for kids. So it's been kind of a whirlwind. It's
We got our running shoes on, Jeff.
we have. It feels like it's been a little bit of a sprint, but we wouldn't have it any other way, because kids and community members are going to benefit.
It's just like a pinch me moment most of the time. Like, you walk on that football field and you're like, kids are going to get this, right? And you walk through lift and you're like, wow, there's still some dust and dirt, but I can see kids here. And so it is all worth it. Just like Tim said, I mean, all of it is worth it. And we have a great team. Everybody's rowing in the same direction and as hard as they can.
Yep.
So.
Other events that are going to happen here early in the semester that maybe the community needs to know about?
Yeah, we've got a big, I guess, the Gator game coming up this Friday. First week one is August 26th. I hope to see as many folks out to welcome and cheer on the Green Wave to hopefully a victory there. But we've got in November we've got a bingo night coming up that we just talked about this morning at our breakfast. The high school bingo night is coming up to help support the positive behavior and incentives program, and we've got the Clash game coming up in October here over at Eastern. Love the fact that we're still able to do that, and Eastern's been a great partner to encourage both Charleston and Mattoon students to come out and be on campus and cheer their teams on. So it's a fun time of year for schools, and we're excited about that.
Would also encourage people to mark their calendars for October 21st, which will be the community open house for Lyft. We've had a lot of people are like, we really want to see it. And we want our student leaders to have the opportunity to kind of get situated and then have them facilitate some of those tours. So October 21st is parent-teacher conferences in Mattoon School District. And so we'll have the building open that day for community members to be able to see kind of what the kids are doing in there.
I know we talked a little bit about football, but Tim, have you talked to I don't know if you've talked, or Christy, you've talked to the other coaches or Mr. Duckett about are the numbers up on the other fall sports?
Yeah, we're starting to see some of that return. I think some of that was just last couple of years and the strangeness of that. So we're starting to see some students come out and want to be engaged and want to reconnect with peers and just have fun. So and that's what school's about. I mean, it's about having fun and building those experiences and learning and growing into to what you want to do in life. So.
I have to ask this next question because I was told if you don't ask them, you're a wimp. Green Wave used to be 2 words. It's now 1 word. I don't care.
Sure.
But explain the rationale behind the 1-word Green Wave.
So the idea behind that was it fit on the scoreboard better when it came around, and that's ultimately I think we went back through some history, and in the 50s when the district was consolidated, that's how it originated, and so I think over time it just became the split word, and maybe it was just easier to put on a T-shirt or a sweatshirt or something like that. So when the opportunity presented itself and how it looked and came across on the scoreboard, I think that's ultimately what made that decision. So
all right, we've solved that world's problem that had everybody. Nobody's concerned about anything else, but why do they do that?
You know what? We're happy for that to be the biggest challenge right now.
Yes.
That's going to be, and I think on the 26th or the first football game, it's going to be. You better get there early, folks. It's just because it's going to be. I think it'll be a packed house.
Yeah, I think that'd be great if we could, and a new video board going in, hopefully to continue to engage students in the crowd and cheering on the Green Wave. So
and Troy travels really well, so they're going.
Yes.
They will pack the other side.
They will.
So we know that. A few minutes left. Anything I forgot? That's what's going on. We're talking to Christy Hild and Tim Condron today from the Mattoon School District. Anything else going on in the district that people need to know about?
A couple cool things. Students continue to eat free breakfast and lunch in our school district this year. We're really excited to still be able to provide that, as well as we are providing school supplies for all of our kindergarten through 5th grade kiddos. So just make sure they have a backpack and a smile, and we'll give them the rest.
Yes. Yeah, and one date I failed to mention is the Green and Gold Day coming up on September 23rd, where you'll see a lot of high school students and just Mattoon students in general out and about to give back in some community service. So another great opportunity for them to connect with community leaders and residents across Mattoon.
And would just, of course, encourage everybody to follow our socials. There's tons of great information,
Kelly's
always
doing a
on
great
there.
job.
Kelly is doing an
Yep.
amazing job.
Yep.
We love her.
Yeah.
So, yeah, keep up with us on there.
Yeah, I told Kelly the other day she's doing good, and she said thank you, and I go, but you can just send stuff right to the HipMix feed, and she goes, you don't want it? I go, no, I'll still take it. I just said it just to get it on the air faster, and so she was really worried and all that stuff. So I think it was another one of those good additions. The other thing I noticed, Kurt Inderbrock is back. Mattoon. He's kind of a Mattoon kid, moved to Effingham and was an Effingham kid too, but back in the school district. So it's nice to see Kurt back.
He
Thrilled
is.
to have him.
He
Academic
is.
instructional coach at the middle school. He's going to be a huge asset to the team. So, yeah, glad to have him back.
That's cool. Maybe get him to some coaching at some point. I hope. So
Heard he played some baseball.
Yeah, he was
so.
a good baseball, good athlete. He was a guy, also a quarterback for Effingham way back when. All right, let's ask unrelated fun questions since you guys deserve a couple minutes of not talking about what's going on. So we'll go, Christy. Tim, obviously, did you get to go on a summer vacation and where?
I did. My son went to space camp, so we got to go to Cape Canaveral, and it was super fun. Had a great time.
We took a family trip. My wife's family, all 17 of us, went down to Gatlinburg and really enjoyed the Smoky Mountains. Got to see some bears. That was my son's biggest wish. Got to see about 10 or so. But they're good at a distance to see.
All-time favorite song?
Oh, my goodness. Probably anything from Carole King Tapestry album. Take your pick.
There you go.
Don't Stop Believin' Journey.
Let's go. First car?
A Dodge Spirit blue 4-door, license plate Rick 880.
That's not what she's driving now. 1986 Grand Am Coupe.
Would you skydive?
I'm so embarrassed to say that I have skydived. I cannot believe I did it. But yeah, I have. I would not do it again.
No, I'll live vicariously through Christy on that one.
Yeah. What's your favorite movie that's kind of pertaining towards school, like a Breakfast Club or something like that?
The Breakfast Club.
I mean, that's
Thank
the
you for
one-
the
that one-
answer. There it is.
Dead
that's the
Poets
one.
Society.
I was like, yeah. August 26th, first home football game, Mattoon Triad. Over or under 3,000 people in attendance?
Over 3,000 people.
Over.
I think you're right. First concert you ever saw?
Oh my goodness. How about most recently, I saw the Goo Goo Dolls. That was amazing.
And that actually
That
was
means your
my
first concert was really embarrassing.
Well,
I think we'll just. Tim?
I don't know that it really was the Goo Goo Dolls, but I did see the Goo Goo Dolls up at U of I Assembly Hall. So
That was REO Speedwagon, by the way.
Yeah?
See, that's
Oh,
cool.
that's good one.
that is
Yeah.
good.
Who started the group Massive? If you get this right, you're a champion.
Who started the group Massive?
That's a really good question.
You're looking at it.
You!
Jeff
How did I
Owens.
guess that?
Yes. Good job, everybody. I'm proud of you, Christy.
Amazing.
Hey, it's always fun to see you guys, and welcome back to Mattoon Schools. Welcome back, everybody. And so thanks for coming in. I know you guys are busy.
Appreciate your time,
Thanks
Jeff.
so much, Jeff.
We are WEIU. Have a great day.